Welcome pilots, my name is Hybrid V and I'm here in the massive reclaimer flying through the clouds of Hurston just above Lorville. Why, you may be asking? Well, because I felt like I wanted to try to land this thing in first person because I hear all the time that the reclaimer, the 890 jump, and to some extent the Carrack are ships that are pretty hard to fly and land in atmosphere. And I wanted to give it a shot for myself because I don't actually own one, I just have the opportunity to fly one right now. So I figured, hey, let's give it a shot and see how it is. Now, I had just come out of quantum travel, and immediately the first thing I noticed coming out of quantum travel, I picked this up from Grimhex, so I was coming from space, and now I'm in atmosphere. The first thing I noticed was I was falling like a rock, so I went ahead and turned my VTOL thrusters on, and now I am level with the planet here, so I'm holding myself up. I have to be careful, so I'm looking for the spaceport right now, but I have to be careful because if I rock too hard left or right or forward or back, the ship will start to sink because the VTOL thrusters are the main power force that's holding me up right now. So I want to be sure I'm staying level as I move towards the spaceport. She's very, very slow at doing this, but we're making progress. As you can see down there is the actual spaceport. So, why are these ships hard to land in the first place? Well, we don't have any type of guidance feature for landing currently in Star Citizen. We don't have any special landing cameras. We don't have any type of MFD or anything like that. We used to have a landing helper back in the day that would pop up on radars, but that has been gone for many years now. It's eventually supposed to come back at some point, but we haven't seen any progress on that yet, so we have to, for now, rely on Mark 1 eyeballs. Okay, so there's a player down there that is a good reference point. There's the station acknowledging us. Okay, so we are within range. It's called the spaceport.
Please proceed to assigned landing.
There we go. So those players, okay, so I feel like we're flying a little bit too over the target area. Those players down below are going to be a good reference as well, but we have our landing marker. And yeah, we're a little bit too far over. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to descend. Let's get out of this cloud layer because I need to actually see my landing spot here. Make sure we're clear. There she is. Line it up. I want to be careful I don't run into another player on here. I'm massive. I can't see very well. Okay, there's the Hurston Dynamics building. I'll use that as a reference there. Okay, slowly coming out of the cloud layer now. Line it up. Okay. Yeah, okay, so it's clear that I'm probably a little bit too close to my landing site. It's going to make this a little bit too tricky to fully line this landing up. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off to this side here a little bit. So what I like to do in these situations, even for small ships, if I feel like I overshot or I'm too close to the landing site and coming straight down will be too tricky for me, then what I will do is I do what I like to call a runway landing. And that involves just basically pulling away from the landing site. So in this case, I'm going to use the Stanton Star as a reference. I'm going to go ahead and go forward in this direction. Let's use a little bit of boost. And I'm just going to go travel in this direction for a little bit, and then I'm just going to do a U-turn and come straight back. So that way, when I'm making my approach vector, it's going to be in a glide path directly towards the hangar instead of a straight down pattern. Because if I go straight down, it's going to be hard for me to line things up. It's going to be very difficult to see what's going on. There is my destination. There's the hangar. I'm tilted forward, so I'm going to be losing altitude a little bit, which is okay. I don't mind losing altitude. In fact, I may drop altitude a little bit faster here by turning off my VTOL. There we go. We're dropping now pretty fast. I don't recommend you do this if you're not familiar with flying larger ships. If you have VTOL like this, keep it on at all times because it helps you maintain your control. I have been flying spaceships in Star Citizen for many years, so I kind of know how it feels a little bit here in filling out the ship. And even though I'm not as familiar with this ship or as confident with my flying with it, I kind of got an idea of how it's going to handle in my hand. So I'm going to go ahead and now level out, and I'm going to turn VTOL back on. And that will then arrest my momentum as I come towards the ground here. There we go. And my TVA, I'm going to go ahead and pitch it towards the general area of my landing site there. Cool. All right, I'm going to cross this invisible line that's coming from the hangar. I'm going to pretend like it's a runway. I'm going to come down at an angle, like a glide path. Let's go ahead and slow down. She's going to take a lot of energy to slow down here. Full reverse. I may need to boost a little bit or space brake. Almost there. I feel like I'm a little over. Yep, let's pull it back a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now I have to remember my cockpit is all the way in the front and off to the left a little bit. So my center of my ship is actually in a different spot than what you would normally think. So I need to make sure that I'm lined up here. We're leveled out. We're good. Let's bring the gear down. Keep bringing her down. Keep bringing her down. Let the gear catch and let the suspension grab us there. Keep her down and boom. The suspension has grabbed us. And now we are easing down.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant...
Landing complete. Let's see how we did. Not too shabby. Pretty center on. Not too bad. Huh. Pretty proud of that landing. She's not all that bad to fly. It's just you have to remember to keep her level when you're doing anything in atmosphere. Otherwise, she will just sink like a rock and be basically uncontrollable. Let's go admire our handiwork now. We're going to take the personal elevator. I'm wondering if CIG is going to redo this elevator at some point, because of course they want NPCs to be able to embark and disembark from ships, and I feel like this elevator is going to be such a huge pain point for NPCs. It's already a pain point for players as it is. Getting in and out, while it works, it does feel a little bit janky at times. So either they're going to rework this elevator or they're just going to fix it so that way it's one of those elevators that doesn't cause your character to do physics animations. It just kind of locks them in a upward position. Let's go ahead and hop off and admire our handiwork. Man, she is a gorgeous ship. I mean, she is industrial all the way, which is cool to see from a Aegis manufacturer. If you're not familiar, the lore of this ship is that they don't make them anymore. It's a basically very old hand-me-down, these type of ships. And she is beautiful in her own brutish design. I can't always help but to admire the look of it every time I see them. But yeah. Anyway, folks, thank you for joining me on this little journey as we went down in first person with the Reclaimer. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, as it really does help out the channel. And of course, if you want to see more, subscribe. Until next time, fly safe, and I'll see you all in the black.